Clearly, someone tipped off the paparazzi. A TikTok user, Tanel, shout out to Tanel, highlighted how all the homemade posters looked incredibly similar, having made out of the same cardboard, colorful tape, the blue tape. That means it's the same company.
Ryan Reynolds just got exposed for staging a paparazzi shoot, and somehow, this might be his most embarrassing move yet. For someone who spent years perfecting the art of looking effortlessly cool, you'd think he could at least pull off a fake candid without making it obvious.
Why does everyone have the same sign, the exact same pens? Everybody's sign looks like it was made by the same 5-year-old.
But nope, the internet caught on in record time, and now the whole stunt is backfiring spectacularly. So let me tell you why and how this whole thing blew up in Ryan Reynolds' face.
But there was this event, right? All this event that he showed up, this Paley Center event, which, to be fair, sometimes does have autographs hounds at to be ready to sign.
So, at the recent Paley Center event, Ryan Reynolds was spotted signing autographs for a crowd that, at first glance, looked like devoted fans. But hold on, because it turns out a bunch of them weren't fans at all. They were autograph resellers, aka people who grab celebrity signatures not to frame them lovingly on their walls, but to flip them for cash.
And then they're there with a bunch of little things to get these autographs sold. It's not really fans, they're usually autograph hounds, but that's also a tactic that celebrities use to fake a scene.
This isn't exactly new in Hollywood, but when a celebrity's adoring fans are actually hustlers with eBay accounts, it definitely kills the whole spontaneous fan love vibe.
This fellow, Daniel Bennett, claims to have been the guy who put the posters together. Now again, he's claiming it, but this has now been widely shared.
And then there's Daniel Bennett, the guy who just casually admitted he got paid to make 25 identical posters for the event. Oh, and he didn't just admit it, he was sarcastic about it, basically rubbing salt in the PR wound. Because when people were already questioning the authenticity of this whole setup, having someone come forward and say,
I made the posters for the Ryan Reynolds fake paparazzi shoot, and let me explain. About a week ago, my boss asked me to help on his kids' arts and craft project. Me, being a good employee, I was like, of course I'll help your kids. And then he handed me a bunch of blue tape and the same exact marker and the same size cardboard and the same photo and said, hey, I need you to make 25 of the same poster boards.
And let's be real, who on earth makes 25 identical posters for a random event unless there's a very specific agenda behind it?
And me wanting to go above and beyond, I was like, well, wouldn't your kids like variety for this project? Like, wouldn't they want a couple different options? He said, no, let's do the same because my kids are idiots and no one will be able to tell the difference.
That's suspicious, because real fans don't just show up, wave a printed sign like they're at a corporate-sponsored pep rally, and then quietly leave without posting a single flex on social media. It's almost like someone gave them instructions on how to behave, which, let's be honest, is the exact opposite of how a real celebrity fan interaction works.
I thought that was weird, but he's my boss. So fast forward to now, I'm seeing all these videos like, it wasn't for his kids' arts and crafts project. Now we're out of blue tape in the office.
And this is where things get extra interesting. This kind of stunt isn't new. Meghan Markle, for example, has been accused of allegedly setting up her own paparazzi moments to control the media narrative. It's a classic PR move. When the headlines aren't in your favor, you manufacture new ones to shift the focus. And in Ryan's case, people are starting to wonder, was this all just a way to drown out the noise about Blake Lively's lawsuit?
He did do an article with the Daily Mail. Even his comments are kind of sarcastic. But the blue tape was dead giveaway. It's sold out everywhere. Is your boss Taylor Swift? This is me trying. Like, he's literally out there just sort of chiming in. Why would I lie about cardboard? Venmo me. Look, this guy absolutely could be trolling.
With more and more details surfacing, the internet isn't letting this one slide. Because when a supposed fan event starts looking more like a commercial shoot with hired extras, people ask questions. And right now, the biggest one is, who exactly was Ryan Reynolds trying to fool?
So there it is. Those are the reactions coming in. They seem pretty likely. Ryan's putting on a good face. Justin is too. He was seen in Hawaii with his family, smiling with paparazzi as well. So everybody's trying to put on a brave face, but reality is, I believe Justin's hurting financially.
And do you know why this whole thing is getting absolutely dragged right now? Because Ryan Reynolds was already on thin ice before this PR disaster even happened. His name was already swirling in controversy, thanks to accusations that he mocked Justin Baldoni in Deadpool and Wolverine.
what Ryan Reynolds, has seemingly done, right, is used his power and influence to not only help Blake Lively take over this movie, but, he's used it, on Deadpool and to make fun of Justin Baldoni.
Yeah, apparently the character Nicepool looks a little too much like Baldoni, and the internet wasted no time pointing out that this was probably a not-so-subtle jab. Baldoni's lawyer, Brian Friedman, even called it a vicious caricature, which just added more gasoline to an already raging fire.
What I make of that is that if your wife is sexually harassed, you don't make fun of Justin Baldoni.
And just when you thought things couldn't get messier, here comes Blake Lively's lawsuit. While Reynolds was busy catching heat for his movie antics, his wife was embroiled in an ugly legal war with Baldoni, her It Ends With Us co-star. Lively accused Baldoni of sexual harassment and retaliation, while he fired back with a lawsuit of his own, claiming defamation and extortion.
It's pretty obvious what's being done. But again, like if somebody is seriously sexually harassed, you don't make fun of it. It's a serious issue.
The drama was all over the media. The New York Post called it a nasty legal battle. And suddenly, the perfect Hollywood couple wasn't looking so perfect anymore. Ryan and Blake's golden reputations were slipping fast. Now, enter the Paley Center event, which conveniently took place right when all this was blowing up.
Really, someone tipped off the paparazzi. Highlighted how all the homemade posters looked incredibly similar, having made out of the same cardboard colorful tape, the blue tape.
And if you connect the dots, it looks less like a fan event and more like a PR band-aid. When your adoring fans turn out to be paid sign holders and autograph resellers, it stops looking like a wholesome public appearance and starts looking like a damage control stunt.
Meghan Markle has been caught doing that several times right before she was meeting Prince Harry, that they just happen to be there with pictures of her from Suits. It's like, come on, girl, clearly someone tipped off the paparazzi. But here it was. All these people, these images, the blue tape, sort of centering all these images, etc.
And let's not forget the huge red flag. Not a single selfie, not a single fan video, nothing. In 2025, if a celebrity meets their fans and nobody posts about it, did it even happen? Real fans love to document their moments, and the fact that nobody did? That's about as natural as a CGI mustache removal. It only made people more convinced that this wasn't a spontaneous crowd. It was a carefully curated one. And the wildest part? This isn't even an original stunt. Meghan Markle has been accused of doing the exact same thing, setting up paparazzi moments to control the narrative. And now Ryan Reynolds is getting the same treatment.
You're telling me that these people randomly went out, bumped into Ryan Reynolds, and all happened to have the exact same random signs? Now, to be fair, like I said, autograph hounds do come with stacks of photos with a bunch of people that they just have disperse to try to get their autograph signed so they can sell them online.
The internet is eating this up because when a celebrity's whole brand is built on being effortlessly cool and relatable, nothing kills the illusion faster than getting caught trying too hard. The big takeaway? This PR stunt didn't just fail. It backfired spectacularly. Instead of fixing his public image, Reynolds just gave people more reasons to doubt him. The whole thing felt forced, and in an era where audiences can smell inauthenticity from a mile away, that's the worst thing a celebrity can do.
Typically, celebrities avoid them. You can pretty much know who the hounds are, and so the fact that Ryan's humoring it all and assuming that these people are all just exact fans that came with boxes of these items, he knows better, but he knows this is a good photo op.
Now, with legal battles still raging and the media watching every move, the big question is, what's next? Because if this was supposed to fix the damage, then yikes. They might want to rethink their next move before the internet turns this into a full-blown PR nightmare.
But no, users notice this. The phones, yes, no one's asking for photos or themselves with him. You're right, I didn't even pay attention to the effing tape. Now I believe this is all staged. It's so hard to watch. And why is nobody recording? All very good questions.
And let me tell you, this isn't even a new trick. Hollywood has been playing the staged paparazzi game for ages, where celebrities carefully set up candid moments to control the narrative. It's like a scripted reality show, except the audience is supposed to think it's all real.
Now, It looks like there's like a couple normal fans there, and they're all swamped by the autograph hounds. Now, I'd love to get in touch with these guys. Were you called to be there by a company? Who called you?
Take Jennifer Lopez, for example. Back in July 2023, she was photographed looking effortlessly glamorous in the Hamptons, right when breakup rumors were swirling. But then Yahoo Entertainment came in with the receipts. Turns out, the whole thing was meticulously planned to give the illusion of, I'm totally unbothered. And suddenly, those random beachside photos weren't looking so random anymore.
You gotta be careful, you can't get caught doing this. But that's apparently what happened, because this fellow, Daniel Bennett, claims to have been the guy who put the posters together.
Same with Selena Gomez. One day she's in the headlines for some not so flattering photos, and the next, she's in a park, reading to children like a Disney princess in her natural habitat. And just like that, the focus shifts. Because nothing says wholesome like a well-timed, look at me being adorable moment right after some bad press. This is an actual industry strategy. Publicists and celebrities work hand in hand to engineer these moments. And most of the time, the audience doesn't even notice. Bustle even broke it down. These moments are never as spontaneous as they seem. They're planned, staged, and delivered straight to the public like a perfectly wrapped PR package. And Ryan Reynolds? He's no stranger to this game.
And so many people are just gonna accept it because many people are fed up with Ryan. But there it is. This is where this theory came about, that he is in fact staging these moments.
He's one of the smartest marketers in Hollywood, blending business, entertainment, and public relations like a pro. His Wrexham AFC takeover? That was part sports investment, part PR goldmine. Even the commercial he made with Channing Tatum and the Wrexham team was equal parts entertainment and carefully crafted branding.
And you know, I guess Ryan isn't making a point to autograph them all. He's just walking around doing what he can. Why do they all have the same pen? It's a Sharpie. That's what you use for autographs. That's very common. But I will acknowledge the blue tape is very strange how they all got blue tape.
But here's the downside. People are catching on. Audiences aren't as easy to fool anymore. And when these staged moments feel too obvious, they backfire hard. What used to be a clever PR strategy now runs the risk of making a celebrity look desperate and out of touch. And here's where things get really messy. Because while Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds have been calling out Justin Baldoni for running a media smear campaign against them, it turns out they might have been playing the exact same game.
To me, that means it's the same company. Now, was that company called by Ryan Reynolds' team? That is very likely. That is absolutely likely. And they may have wanted to have a big crowd out there to get signatures to show that he is not being affected by this case.
Lively's legal team claimed that Baldoni hired crisis managers to destroy her reputation after she accused him of misconduct on the set of It Ends With Us. They said he planted negative stories, manipulated social media, and worked behind the scenes to make Lively look like the villain.
It's because they're out there saying that Justin Baldoni is defaming and you know, retaliating and smearing is the word I was trying to say. Smearing Blake Lively.
But then, plot twist, internal lawsuit documents revealed that Lively's own PR team was doing the exact same thing. So while she was out here calling Baldoni a master manipulator, her team was actively brainstorming ways to ruin his reputation too. And if that wasn't wild enough, on January 16th, 2025, Baldoni hit back, hard. He filed a $400 million lawsuit against Lively, Reynolds, and their publicist, Leslie Sloan, accusing them of defamation and civil extortion.
But the truth is, Ryan and Blake's publicists are out there to protect and scramble and smear anybody else that they need to smear to keep their star rising as well.
His lawsuit claimed that Lively and Reynolds didn't just defend themselves. They went full attack mode, using their influence to blacklist Baldoni in Hollywood and feed damaging stories to the press. And let's be real, if there's one thing Hollywood takes seriously, it's public perception. A well-placed rumor can tank someone's career overnight.
So this is how Hollywood PR works. So that's why I think for many this case has been so interesting, because it's spotlighting this PR, and then they're trying to say, well, Ryan and Blake are allowed to do it, and because they're not being mean. I don't know what their justification actually is.
And according to Baldoni's legal team, that's exactly what Lively and Reynolds were trying to do. The lawsuit outlined how they allegedly used their connections to paint Baldoni as the villain, framing themselves as the innocent victims. And if this sounds like a high-budget Netflix drama, That's because it basically is. But here's the kicker. This isn't a new Hollywood trick. Celebrities love to act outraged about PR manipulation while secretly pulling the same exact moves.
But the irony is hard to ignore. There is absolutely hypocrisy happening here, because I would not be surprised at all, because not only did he do the alleged staged paparazzi shoot.
The whole "I'm the victim of a media smear campaign" line, it's a classic. But the second you dig into the details, you find out both sides are doing the exact same thing. And in this case, Lively and Reynolds spent months calling out Baldoni for playing dirty, only for receipts to come out showing they were in the trenches right alongside him. And let's not forget Ryan Reynolds in all of this. The guy built an empire on being the cool, relatable A-lister, but now his name is being thrown into Hollywood's ugliest PR war. Turns out, even the celebrities with the most polished reputations aren't above strategic media warfare.
We're building a new stadium. He's out there promoting things to distract, deflect, and honestly, that's what you do in PRs. Move on. Jedi mind tricks. Don't listen to this. Listen to this. Look.
With these lawsuits still unfolding, we're probably not even close to getting the full story. But if there's one thing that's clear, it's that nobody's hands are clean in this mess. Because in Hollywood, it's never just about the truth. It's about who controls the story. The Hollywood PR machine is crumbling right before our eyes. And at the center of it, Ryan Reynolds, Blake Lively, and Justin Baldoni's legal circus. This lawsuit isn't just about legal claims anymore. It's ripping apart the carefully polished image that Reynolds and Lively have spent years crafting.
She wants full access of all the footage. I'm looking forward to seeing all we have in the can. This isn't typical. This is not, actors don't just get this type of access.
For the longest time, they were untouchable, the golden couple of Hollywood. But now, the public is starting to question everything. The whole perfect marriage, flawless personas, effortlessly charming act? People aren't buying it anymore. And what really pushed the doubt into overdrive was Reynolds' so-called nice pool character in Deadpool and Wolverine. At first, it seemed like just another quirky addition to the franchise, but then came the realization. The character bore way too many similarities to Baldoni. It stopped feeling like an artistic choice and started looking like a petty, calculated jab at someone they were already locked in a bitter legal battle with.
And he's continuing, and I was, to be honest, Kim, his responses are very professional, very polite, trying to hold firm, and she's just not having it. Your performance is great, obviously. I want your input, but that's why I sent the 5-hour playlist.
And now, the internet wants receipts. Fans who were once blindly loyal to Reynolds and Lively are demanding evidence from Baldoni's legal team. They want to see the texts, the emails, the behind-the-scenes footage, anything that can prove who's really pulling the strings here. Because if Baldoni's lawsuit holds up, then everything Lively and Reynolds have claimed starts to fall apart.
During the whispering on set, out of character, where Justin's saying, "You smell good," he breaks down in vivid detail what actually happened. And what's even more crazy is he says, it's all on tape. She didn't know that they were recording audio, and he has the whole video.
And trust me, Baldoni's legal team is not messing around. They've already presented leaked texts, internal communications, and even footage that directly contradicts some of Lively's most serious claims. If this keeps up, it won't just be Baldoni fighting back, it'll be the entire public perception of Reynolds and Lively crumbling in real time.
Here it is. She keeps arguing and directing the scene during it. She keeps talking about, Ryan and I like to keep talking. This is all happening during this dancing scene.
Even legal experts are starting to weigh in, saying Baldoni has a strong case for defamation. And if he wins, it's not just a PR hit for Reynolds and Lively. It could come with some brutal financial consequences too. Hollywood doesn't take kindly to losing public trust. And if this lawsuit ends badly for them, it could mean lost endorsements, canceled projects, and a permanent stain on their careers. For Reynolds, this could be catastrophic. He's built a brand around being the effortlessly likable, witty, cool guy celebrity. But if this lawsuit proves he was actively trying to ruin someone's career behind the scenes, that perfect husband image starts looking more like a carefully calculated performance. And in Hollywood, Nothing kills a career faster than the public realizing they've been played.
Lively breaks character, speaks about Lily, extremely confusing, yada, yada, yada. She then apologizes for the smell of her spray tan and body makeup, while Donnie responds, "It smells good," and continued acting, slow dancing as if he believed his character was with his partner, which required some physical touching.
And Blake Lively? The stakes might be even higher. If Baldoni's lawsuit proves she fabricated claims to destroy a colleague's career, she could find herself completely blacklisted. Hollywood doesn't tolerate career sabotage, and if she loses public sympathy, future roles, industry respect, and major opportunities could vanish overnight. Right now, support for Baldoni is growing, and Lively is rapidly losing ground. At this point, this isn't just another celebrity scandal. It's a brutal reminder of how fragile Hollywood's PR games really are. 1 minute, you're on top of the world. The next, you're at the center of an industry-wide reckoning. And by the time the dust settles, Lively, Reynolds, and Baldoni's careers may never look the same again.
The woman who's fat-shamed and bothered is telling her director, "You need a nose job. Why don't you get a nose job?" It's just so insensitive, and apparently this is all caught on 4K.
Now, at the heart of Baldoni's lawsuit is the claim that Blake Lively used her influence to manipulate the media and paint herself as the victim, all while diverting attention from her own questionable actions during the film's production. According to the complaint, she wasn't just a cast member, she was pulling the strings behind the scenes. The lawsuit alleges that Lively made demands that forced major changes to the film's direction and marketing, leaving Baldoni, who helped bring the project to life, completely sidelined. Instead of working alongside him, she allegedly worked against him, all while shaping the media narrative to make herself look like the one being wronged.
Was inappropriate and made her feel uncomfortable as he spoke out of character, whispering in her ear, "You smell really good." Well, let's find out the truth. Apparently the whole scene's on film, and it wasn't that way at all. He's responding to her out of character about her spray tan, and she clearly had no issue with it on set.
And then there's Ryan Reynolds, who isn't just a bystander in all of this. Baldoni claims that Reynolds actively helped in smearing his name, using his industry clout to spread damaging stories that fueled the backlash against him. And let's be honest, Reynolds is no small player in Hollywood. If he really weaponized his influence, that's career-destroying level damage. According to the lawsuit, Reynolds wasn't just supporting his wife, he was allegedly playing a key role in making sure Baldoni was completely discredited.
Stephanie Jones will be all over this complaint. That is the PR agent who was supposed to be working for Justin Baldoni. There's Leslie Sloan, who's another PR agent who will be part of this lawsuit.
But it doesn't stop there. The lawsuit also calls out Leslie Sloan, Lively's longtime publicist, as a major orchestrator in the alleged campaign to ruin Baldoni's reputation. Baldoni claims Sloan worked directly with Lively and Reynolds to flood the media with hit pieces, ensuring he was painted as the villain in the public eye. And considering Sloan's long history of working with A-listers, she knows exactly how to make or break a Hollywood image.
Blake Lively will be sued, and we're carefully considering other people that will be sued also.
Now, all of this stems from the original legal war between Lively and Baldoni. Lively had already filed a lawsuit accusing Baldoni of sexual harassment and retaliation during production. He's denied it all, saying the entire thing was just a smokescreen to take him down and gain more control over the film. And now, with his own lawsuit, he's flipping the script, claiming that the real behind-the-scenes scheming came from Lively, Reynolds, and Sloan, working together to destroy him.
He was involved in this to some extent. There was a meeting at their apartment at which you allege that there were some senior production people who witnessed him allegedly berate Justin Baldoni to the point where these third parties felt upset that they didn't do more to stand up for Justin.
The most damning claim? That Lively and Reynolds personally used their Hollywood connections to get damaging stories about Baldoni planted in major media outlets, fueling a PR disaster that he says was completely manufactured. Baldoni argues this wasn't just about shifting blame, it was about making sure he was blacklisted. And speaking of career damage, Baldoni's lawsuit also claims that Reynolds took it a step further, interfering with his professional relationships. The biggest bombshell? That Reynolds allegedly played a role in getting Baldoni dropped by his talent agency, WME. If true, that's not just a smear campaign, it's a full-on industry takedown.
Blake Lively tells people that all of a sudden he wrote a scene in the movie. I mean, shocking everybody, shocking Sony, shocking the production staff. It's the first time they're hearing it.
But of course, Lively and Reynolds aren't just sitting back and taking these accusations. Their reps have denied everything, calling the lawsuit nothing more than a desperate attempt to shift blame. They claim Baldoni is trying to rewrite history and that his lawsuit is just a way to distract from his own misconduct.
Justin handles that really, really well and doesn't want to say she's a liar, or doesn't want to say that's inappropriate, or doesn't want to say that's part of someone else's job.
With both sides digging in their heels, this lawsuit isn't just about who wins in court, it's about who wins in the court of public opinion. And as more details come out, the fallout could permanently alter the careers and reputations of everyone involved. Hollywood might love a dramatic comeback story, but right now, someone's about to take a fall. This scandal is only getting messier, and by the time the dust settles, someone's reputation won't make it out alive. So hit that subscribe button, because you won't want to miss what happens next.